Okay. Good morning, guys. It's Saturday morning, August 8th. Can't believe I already burned a week of August, but I'm going to give you the first week review. Like I said, I'm trying to catch up on all my videos, and don't give up on me. But here we got the 30 year on 8-3. We have an EMA cross here and a nice PPO confirmation, so we have the two in alignment. So yeah, getting in on this first bar after the signal about 156.14, you could have got 3-4 ticks pretty easy. Pulled the break even and then probably stop out at around in here. So one decent little trade that morning. My red zone shows up. Then this bar fires right at the cash open. This is tricky. Um, and what I've been doing on these is if something really just shoots off like this, and it's more than 5 ticks off the average, then I'm gonna wait until one it either pulls back to the average or in this case the average catches up to it. Another thing that makes this a little tricky is this pivot level right here too. See, it bounces along this pivot, but you could have got in on this bar or this bar, either one, and that's still in a good trade time. So right around that 9 to 9:10, 9:20 time frame, and that obviously turns into a good trade. And we run right up to this next pivot. You notice too these little dots. That's a Fibonacci I've got on another chart, but I have it overlay on these other time frame charts. Look what it did. So it runs and stops on this pivot, runs up, kind of chops on this pivot, right up to that Fibonacci level. And chops around. So I mean, there's a lot of these levels you can use and put some structure around your trading. Take profits. If you can, lucky enough to get in on this trade, you could have run it up and taken some profits here. If you wanted to risk a little more or trail it, you could have got up to that Fibonacci level, obviously, but I would have been a profit taker right here on this level. But that's 8-3. Let's scroll on to 8-4. So we got an EMA here, and then we have an EMA right here at 4. So yep, there's a first bar entry, and also this both the PPO and the EMA cross doesn't show it because my EMA takes precedence, but this first bar entry after the signal, you're at 157.15. That could have been good for 3 to 5 tick first profit target on a contract or two or whatever, and then trail it. So there was a decent little trade there at 4 o'clock, getting in at 4:10. Here's a tricky one. A signal and a bar or two alignment signals, but going into the red zone. This is why I don't do this. You see what happens. So it fires, and then immediately, again, we're right on this pivot from the day before. We're up here on these pivots. We chopped around on those all night. And here's another signal. Immediately reverses. So, and it kind of chops around these great big bars. All they'll do is stop you out. So red zone trickiness. But we do have a down EMA, and then we get a down bar right here at the cash session open. So you could have jumped in on this one, but it was a stop. So you have one good trade with some trailing ticks, and then a stop. So you're somewhere probably break even or a tad under for Tuesday. And there's really nothing else. So let's go to Wednesday. You'll say you say, Jim, there's nothing else. Yeah, there was after I got out of my trade zones, here you go. You could have taken that bar and ran this thing down. There was a trade. Typically, going into lunch and afternoon, it's choppy. There was a trade though. So let's go on to Wednesday. That thing sold off all day and all night. Could turn into a hell of a trade. Oh, look at this chart. You get a signal. Get two signals in alignment. If you jumped on that, that's a stop. Two signals in alignment. They actually hit at the same time. Jumped on that bar. Stop. So there's two stops in a row there. Wednesday. Two signals in alignment. Jump on this bar. It works. That's easily a 5-tick first profit and a trailing. Let's see what that opened at 14. 156.14. Yeah, so you could have got 15 ticks off that, 5 off one contract and 10 off another. Then we go into, look at these head fakes, up and it slams down, going right into that bond open. This was a tough morning. That's definitely tough. Here's typically what the afternoons look like. If you do some back testing, you'll see what I mean. It's tough. Tough trades. Wednesday was a tough day. You could have probably broke even on that. It's a tough day. So let's see what Thursday brings us. That's too early of a signal. Look at this. More chop fest. More chop fest. So you get two signals. You take this bar open and you stop. Two signals. Take this bar open. Stop. Wow. I caught some of these and got chopped a little bit this week, especially Wednesday and Thursday. Look at this. This is the third day in a row we get a good signal going into the bond pit open, and it immediately reverses. Now here was a good trade, but you're right there. I mean, bond pit opens at 7:20. You could have taken this bar once the cash session opens, but you're so many bars away from the last signal, so you're 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pushing it. But boy, it worked. So yeah, if you'd have been brave, jump in right here on this going into the cash session open. Would have been worth some good ticks. Then the afternoon chop. And Friday with non-farm payroll numbers. I didn't get a good trade off on that. Let's see. I ended up taking this trade. able to hold it for a while, and then I got stopped out. I can't remember. I think I got stopped out right in here. I tightened it a little too much. And if I hadn't have gotten stopped out here, I mean, I got good profit on it. This would have killed you. Look at these bars. They announce non-farm payrolls. We can't do anything with that. I mean, this guy right here, right before it, uh, this guy runs a full point up and down. It's taking out all the stops. This guy didn't help, but this was the killer right here. I was already out, but I had made some good, decent profit. I was lucky, stayed out of this. But look what this guy does. Now here's another interesting entry. It's tricky, but interesting. So you still have two alignments, PPO and EMA. So you got it up. You see after non-farm payrolls, things are moving. EMA spreading out. Goes right up to this pivot and chops a little bit. So you could have got an entry in here and not taken really any heat per se. So around that 157, 17 to 18 to 20, and just held on for the ride. But this, you can't do anything with this. That's why I don't hold into news. I mean, you can just tighten your stop. You're just going to get stopped out typically because this is what happens. And you kind of got to wait for the smoke to clear. See if it'll take a direction for you, which this guy did. I was done for the day. Typically on, excuse me, typically on Fridays, I'm not going to take a bunch of trades. I made decent profit here, and I let the craziness happen. But there was definitely some more money to be made here. But anyway, that's the week review. You can see where the pivots are for next week, right here. Pivot levels, 157.17 is the main pivot point. That's my little Fibonacci level. Look how it came right up and chopped on that too. We will see what the market brings us. I hope it helps. Thanks a lot.